Welcome students, welcome to the class of video post production. In this tutorial, I will show you how to crop a video clip. In many cases, we need to crop our video and see, for example, if we have a video and then we have some unwanted space on the left hand side, some unwanted space on the right hand side, or if we have taken a video where we have some unwanted thing that is coming in our frame, maybe on any side, left, right, up, or the bottom side, and then it is advisable to actually get rid of that particular space or object that is coming, or if we have some empty space more than what is required. So in that situation, we need to actually crop our footage. Okay. Once we have our footage is ready, and we are going to drag that footage onto our timeline panel, or and where we will create the sequence, and we will do the further advanced editing, and we will be making cuts, and then we will apply the effects in the transition. But before that, if we have some unwanted space, then I mean at the very beginning itself, we can crop the video, and we can get the right kind of video, so that we can actually build on our project. Okay. So for this exercise purpose, I have a video here. This is a lecture given by Professor Kashinath from the yoga department. So I have taken his video for the making this tutorial. I have already imported my video here, and this is the here I have opened the video in the source panel. So first of all, I'll so let's see what is this video and what is the problem with this video. Okay, so I will press the action graph key on my keyboard so that I can get the full screen mode. And now listen, see this particular footage. If you see,
नमस्कार।
okay, so in this particular footage, I mean, he's going to do some exercise here. He is going to do yoga here. Okay, so for that, I have given this much of. I mean, we have this much of. This is called the headroom. Okay, or the head space. This is called the headroom. So we have this much of headroom here. But if you come over to the left hand side, or if you go to the right hand side, that space is actually unwanted here. And if you can see here, then we have a mat here. Okay, but at this particular area there is nothing, and it's not looking good actually. And if you come over here on the this side also, I mean, we have this much of empty space, and then if we can get rid of this space, we can have a better video here actually. Okay, so in this particular video, I think we need to crop our image. We need to crop this particular video clip so that we will have a better video here. Okay, so for cropping, how to crop a video here? So for cropping purpose, so first of all, we have to make the sequence based on the video clip that we have available here. For the making sequence, we can drag it and drop on the timeline panel, so automatically it will create a sequence. Or if you right click here, then you can make a sequence from this particular clip itself. Okay, so either way, this is choice is yours. You can make the sequence in any way, or else, so I'm actually going to drag it, and I'll drop here on my timeline panel. So if you see, automatically I have created my sequence on this timeline panel, and now our video is ready here, so that we can apply certain effects or transitions here. And then this particular view, I mean, what we are doing here on the timeline panel, that will be visible here on the program monitor. Okay, so for cropping purpose, what we have to do here, so for cropping, actually you select your image, and then you have to come over here. We have an effect in Adobe Premiere Pro that is called the crop effect. So we have to actually apply the crop effect onto our clip, and then we can manipulate the settings or the value in the effects control panel here. Okay, so I'll show you. First of all, we have to go to the effects panel, and then here we have to actually browse for the crop effect. For cropping, either you can search here, or cropping is here. If you go to the video effects, and in video effects you have to come down. I think this is in somewhere in the transform. Okay, yeah, there is transform, and if you click here, Oh, yes. See, the crop effect is available here. Okay. If you're not sure where any particular, just you have to know the name of the effect or any transition, and just you can search here, and then you will get the result. Or if you know the path of any particular effect, you can actually browse through it. You can go and select it. Okay. So for applying the effects, I have already told you that there are, I mean, in simply we can apply the effects in two ways. First, you have to actually drag and drop the effect onto the clip that is here, or when the clip is selected, and if you just double click here on any effect, automatically that effect will be applied to the clip here. Okay. So now again, 1 minute before we apply here, if you come over here in the effects control panel, if you see we have the motion, opacity, time remapping, etc. Okay. Now once we apply the crop effect will come here, and we can see that will be in the effects control, and then we can have the, we can actually we are going to manipulate the cropping in the effects control panel itself. Okay. So I will drag and drop the cropping effect onto my, see there is a plus icon here, that means this particular effect is going to be applied on our clip. Okay, now we have applied, you see in the, you see the change in the effects control panel here, if you can see here. Okay, automatically we have got the okay, so we have here crop, or crop is actually it's visual here. So now we have to apply the crop here. Okay, so for the cropping purpose, if you see what are the controls that we have available here, this is the, like we can crop from the left side, right hand side, top and bottom. Okay, so and then we have something called the edge fader also. Okay, so I think first of all we'll start with this unwanted space, so that is on the left hand side. So here, either if you click, if you just drag, if you just hover here, you get a control here, so that you can actually drag, you can just actually drag and you can change the value. Okay, or else if you know the value, you can directly put that value, and you will get the desired result. So because we are not sure about the value, the percentage, so we'll actually drag it, and let's see, I mean, if we get the desired result here. So I do not want, like I want the video up to this space only, or else what you can do, like we can remove this unwanted space here. Okay, this is also another way, or I'll maintain here. So because we have to also look for the aspect ratio, I mean the output that we are going to get, that should not be distorted one. I mean that has to be, it has to be better than the one that we are replacing it. Okay, and now if you go over to see, it's a 14% left hand side. Now if you go to the right hand side, again here we have to increase, and maybe it's again it's 14%, but here I think we can go further. uh, okay, now I think we have got good result here. And now what we can do here, see we have actually applied the cropping effect here, and we have changed the value from the left and from the right direction. And now what we have to do actually, but just cropping, simply cropping is not sufficient here. One more cropping, one more, like we can change the value from the top hand side, from the top side. But I think let's leave the top, because we have the headroom here, because if he is going to perform the yoga or certain exercise, so I mean he is likely to use this particular space also. Okay, so we have to leave the headroom here. Now when we apply the crop effect in itself is not sufficient. Actually it has to be used in combination with one more setting here, that's called the you have to come over here in the motion section. In the motion, we have two things here. This is the position and this is the scale. Okay, so here we have to go, we have to actually change the position here. So for position, because we have to actually use this particular space and this space also, and let's see, we will change the scale, and then we will get a better result here. Okay, so you change the scale here, and maybe up to this point, or and then we have to change the position here. Position is like, no, we have to go to this direction, and it has to be somewhere in the center. Okay, and then we have to change the position, like from the top to bottom, we have to go to this space. Okay, now I think this is better view. So I'm not going to like, I'm like I'm making this, I'm not leaving much headroom here, but because I just want to show you how we can crop. And then okay, and if he's going to use that space, I mean, we have to crop in some other way. Okay, but this is for this particular purpose, like how to crop a video. So I'm not going to use this head, I'm not going to leave the head room here. Okay, now I think we have got a better view. If you just go for the full screen mode, you can
पीटी
see
बताना चाह
we have more our subject, it's like subject like whosoever is in the footage. I mean, the most important person or thing. So that is called the subject here. So my subject, like sir, like this subject has become more prominent here, and because we have given much of the space here. Okay, and one more thing, if you can see, we have left much. I mean, this space is, we have given enough space, and I mean, so we can make certain adjustment here. That is also a possibility. But otherwise, if you want to, like, as per the position and the scaling is concerned, positioning and scaling is concerned, what you can do, you just come over to the program monitor and just double click here. Okay, just double click, and then you get this kind of control here. Then if you just drag it, you can automatically make the adjustment as per the position, and as per the position is concerned. Okay, and I think, yeah, yes, you can do the scaling also here. For scaling, you have to actually change the value here. Okay, so you can do the scaling also, as well as the positioning also. Okay, so I think it's advisable to use the position here. So we have made certain changes. Okay, so these are the changes that you can do here. Either you have to change the position and the scale value from here, or you have to just double click and then you can drag and change the value here. Okay, so I will do again, I will go for scaling, I will use here, and let's see. Position is like we have to go.
नमस्कार
Okay, I think we have this result is quite good. This output now. Okay, or else we have some more, uh, like we have some more scope here to make it better. So again, I'll go and change the scale value here. Okay, and then positioning, it's better to change the position value from here, because you have like you can go in detail and you have the control, and dragging is like, okay, so again change from here. No. Okay, now this is good, and if you play here,
मैं डॉक्टर काशीनाथ सेंट्रल यूनिवर्सिटी राजस्थान से
okay, there is a possibility. I mean, this is not the perfect one because we have to give some headroom here. That's not looking good. So again, you can actually scale it down, and then this positioning, I think, yeah, it's good. Okay, so this is how you have to make a judgment. You have to make the decision here. That is purely, it's totally up to you, because um, you have to decide how you are going to see the output. Now our video is ready. Now I'll show you how the original footage was, and how the footage, this footage that we have now, it's looking like. Okay, so yeah, you can clearly see the difference. There is a marked difference here between the two footage that we have. If you see, this is the original footage that we have here, and here, because we have much of the empty space here. Okay, and if you see the second footage here, second clip that we have actually edited, we have applied the cropping effect. Now my subject is very prominent here, and subject is like the most important aspect, most important thing that is that is there in the video, and that I want to focus on. And
आज मैं आपको प्राणायाम की विधि बताने जा रहा हूँ, भ्रामरी प्राणायाम।
Fine. So we have and this, I think this video is better, this output is good. And then okay, so once it is done, then we can actually build on, and we can do further changes here, we can do the edits, and we can apply the transitions, etc. So what we have actually studied in this particular lecture, in this particular tutorial, we have studied how we can, I mean, in what cases we need to crop a particular footage or clip, and how to crop it. So for cropping, we have one effect called the crop effect, and we have to actually drag that crop effect and drop on our clip, or we have to apply that one simply. And in the effects control panel here, we have all the settings here, and these values actually the cropping, under the cropping section, and then under the motion and under this position and scale that comes under the motion. Okay, we have to change the value here. So whenever we are cropping our footage, cropping alone is not sufficient, because that will give some other kind of because that will have this blank space here, and this black bar that will be visible here. Okay, so in that case we have to actually complement the cropping effect with the change in the position and scale value. Okay, so with the position and scale value, we can actually fine tune our footage, and we can once we get the desired result, then we can actually submit it, and then we can finalize our footage. Okay, so now we have applied here, I have changed the position and the scale, and then I'm okay with the footage, so this footage is okay. Okay, so this is how we apply the cropping effect. Okay, in coming classes I'll